I have had a tremendous amount of time to process and reflect. I took a personal day. I took a personal day from work to reconcile the pain that I'm personally going through. Because of everything that it means for my personal decisions, the convictions of my judgments, the doing what had to be done to set right in my heart, and I'd rather see my whole world go to shit because I did the right thing for my heart. I'd rather just see the whole world go to shit. I'd rather hear it. I'd rather lose support. You know, man, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. You know, it's a letting go, and keeping on going, and just talking it out. And you know, you're kind of using your phone to an audience to kind of operate like a black mirror for a sense of shadow work, because the device allows that opportunity for not just psychic feedback, but real feedback, right? It's fascinating like that. Fascinating how it works in real time and everything. And, you know, we're all, you know, people that were never interested in being professional public persons, because we wanted to be able to have fun doing what we're doing on the internet. And I think that we also need to remember that having fun on the internet is great, but you're working for the audience. You're giving them something that matters. And it's okay to not entertain people. It's okay to just talk to them. You know, it's okay to be the mirror that they need. It's totally okay to embarrass yourself. It's super okay to embarrass yourself, guys. We continue to strive for greatness, but, you know, whatever. It's, hey, it's just one of those things where you don't know if what you did had the right impact on anybody, right? I'm sure it does, but for some people, you know, things can change, and obviously things can change, and you're a fool if you don't see that things can change, obviously, right? But, you know, a change can sneak up on you. A change can elude itself from you. And all these things are designed to make you look like a fool. And this is about getting it out of my system. And never allowing that kind of world to descend upon me again. That requires doing a lot of things differently if you're going to continue to stick your neck out. As I've always said, there is no quit in me. cannot, I just can't lay silent about things, you know? Just because when you're treated a certain way and it reveals the nature of a man, you at the very least have to get it out there. You at the very least have to get it out there. Because if your friends don't feel like they owe you an explanation for the way that they treat you, especially when they change the way that they treat you, then there's nothing to privately talk about. If you can't privately talk about the thing, it's like, no, it's about making a statement that our relationship has changed. That's what that was about. It was about fronting it with the distance. And that usually is a coward's, because they need to do something that is initiatorily seen publicly or within a certain group. So what becomes your normal, like, hey, sharing with my friends, they're my friends, I'm allowed to promote myself amongst my friends. And then those friends just knock it down. Before it even happened, knocked it down. All the assumptions that runs, it's just like, that line of thinking I didn't think was within my friends. Because that's never the way that we talked about things. That is never the values that we shared when we had conversations with each other. It was like I was hearing a message from another alien thing. And that is why I lost my shit. Because I did not hear the voice of my friend over that text. Because the circumstances, the context was a backstab, a poison. And my feelings are my feelings. Whether they are too much or too little. And if I'm going to have a feeling, I'd rather have too much of it. Because holding back has never served me. Never served me. Life will get straightened out on the back end. I'm happy accepting the consequences for these actions that I have taken. I welcome it. I welcome failure. I have no fear of failure. I have no fear of shame. I have no fear of injury. I have no fear of death. And I celebrate the opposite of those things. Never let anyone devalue you for a second. Even if they're right. Even if they're right. Because the fallacy is that they can't be right. Because only you know you. So let the whole world agree with them. You don't have to buy it. And that'll tell everyone else around you what's up. And that's been the way we got here. Lone wolf. You fear humiliation. Yeah, I know. I know. Shame is an old friend. Shame, yes. Hati and Skull. The haters and the fakers. see, long ago, which is why I do what I do, I learned many a secret. Because I meditated on things like the words of Har. And even the wisest man is gonna be a fool. But, you switch Ponyu the Wolves. I have the switching, I believe I re-uploaded that to this channel. Watch my Switching the Wolves video and you'll understand why I behave the way I behave when things arise the way they arise. It is the psychological answer. You fear humiliation. What is humiliation? That is shame. That is Skuld. That is the wolf. That is the wolf that swallows. They say in the Havamol. You see, for some strange reason, I get this right in practice, but I somehow get it wrong when I say it. It feels. You have Skuld. Skuld is shame, and in my head, shame swallows the moon. Some people say it's hate that swallows the moon. Hati. So you get the haters. See, to me, the idea is simple. That, you know, hate obviously is swallowing the sun, because when you shine like the sun, your haters just like, you know, they're trying to take you down. They're trying to remove your shine, right? By that merit. And then shame gets you up in your head. Shame gets you lost in your head, dwelling on your self-image. And so Skuld, the treacherous one, tries to ruin you with shame. Right? And that's what I experienced. That's what my friend subjected me to, was Skuld. He gave me a scolding, you see, which is his way of saying I am of superiority to you. That's a fucking awful attitude, especially to have with me. Oh, I don't let my boss talk to me like that. I'll get fucking fired before I let my boss talk to me like that. You're not gonna fucking talk to me like that, bitch. Fuck you. Holy shit. Unfucking believable. I'm really talking to the both of you. But the other one I don't know so well. And proved that I don't know that person so well. Funny. Oh, so funny. But that's okay, because now your thing is a brand, isn't it? It's a brand. It's got an image. It's important. It's more important than you. If you want to succeed, your brand better work. You become your brand. Then who are you? Are you still there? Are you still in control of this operation? Don't worry about humiliation. Humiliation will teach you who the true monsters are. I have watched quite a number of people be humiliated in front of me. And I've watched people laugh at them, and I said, what's the fuck so funny? All right? There are times to prove yourself, and those times of proving are when Hati and Skuld rear their ugly heads. These are the times you must seize, because once those wolves bite, it's done. You have a split second to break its jaw before it swallows you whole. These strategies, they don't work on me. I've been abused by Loki for decades. I know when he's setting it up. That is why I am also a lone wolf. You have courage, my man. Humiliation taught me how to be this that I am now. Because with each humiliation, you learn how you didn't love yourself that time. And that's one of the most important lessons that sometimes happens if you're lucky enough to get the good side of the bad Loki. Because the bad Loki and the good Loki have a side that's not good for anybody. And a side that is good for everybody. And it'll be like that until certain things have changed in this realm and have purified the weird. But for as long as humanity's mindset is in the childish haze that it is, it won't be. We will be men of lesser character, playing around like children and amusing ourselves at the misery of others' social status. I'm not terribly worried about being doxxed because I'm okay with people knowing who I am. I'm okay with letting trouble come in. Because if the consequences of trouble forces me to change my life, it'll be a good thing because I stuck to my word. So therefore I fear nothing. I don't know what all the consequences of all my actions are, but if I can clearly see that they are happening as consequences of my actions, I'm going to accept them, whether they lie me in jail or not. You tell me. This is the best way I can tell you to not be humiliated by anything, my friend. Or to allow yourself to be humiliated and to let that feeling pass over you. And to realize how little people's projection of humiliation and shame onto you will matter the next day. We are the heroes of our own myth. That's tough, Lone Wolf. I'm sorry. That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a hard life. That's a hard life. And, you know what? Just remember that you also write your own origin story. Many of us have the sad way that we look at our pasts, and some of us have legitimately more tragic occurrences than others. And sometimes that shapes our level of ability to work through the hard shit. Because if you've only had such a hard life before, you're not prepared for such a hard something to come later. You know, it's the difference between, you know, the generation that grew up in a war and the generation that grew up in a party. So you need to think about how you think about your past, and you need to rewrite it. You need to find the truth of your past that serves you and make it your living myth. And learning to love and accept yourself for all the bullshit. Because we all made choices that we didn't know at certain times. But I don't think that you get to say that you didn't know what it was to be a fucking cool person. I think everybody's worked on that pretty hard, especially if you wanted to fake it out there. Can't truly avoid the drama, but you can deal with it well. and get on with your life. It is a beautiful day. Catch you guys later.